you for coming here, Professor Brook. I was wondering, because I'm still majoring in English language and literature, so I'm very interested in honoring this literature. So basically, I was wondering, because your an ideal scenario is everyone has good morality and things would take care of itself.
Yes.
So, but basically, I feel like humans are they make mistakes. So when people left behind, should we just help them, or helping too much of them is like disobeying the basic rule of self-interest? Thank you very much.
So, in my view, it can definitely be in your self-interest to help people. If the people you're helping are basically good people. So if my neighbor, by no reason, by no fault of his own, his house burns down, he loses his job, he's in real trouble, and he's a nice guy, I'm going to help him. And I think it's in your self-interest to help him, because he's a good guy, and he's going to be productive, and he's going to add to your life, and you've got a relationship. If my neighbor beats his wife every day, drinks all the time, watches TV, doesn't go to work, and his house burns down, I don't care. I'm not going to help him. So it depends on who the person you're helping is. It is in your self-interest to help people if the circumstances are right. And if they're basically good people, or if you just don't know. I mean, if you don't know somebody, you want to err on the side of good, because most people are good. A few are bad, most people are good. So my view is, if I can, I'm going to help them. But the flip side of it, sometimes I can't. I've got my own kids, right? If I don't have enough money to feed my kids, I'm not going to feed my neighbor's kids. First I take care of my kids. First I take care of me. And if I have extra, and there are worthy people out there, yes, it's fine to help them. So there's nothing wrong with helping other people. The difference is this. The common morality says that your moral purpose in life is to live for others. That their well-being is more important than yours. I'm saying no. Your well-being is the standard. Helping others, if it fits into your well-being, is great. But it's not the purpose, it's not the standard. And thank you for being interested in Ayn Rand's literature, because I think that's an underappreciated, I think she's a great novelist. So I encourage everybody to read Atlas Shrugged, The Fountainhead, We the Living, Anthem, all now available in Chinese, but I don't know if the translation's good. If you can read them in English, it's much better. But it's wonderful stories and philosophy integrated into the story. So it's not just dry philosophy. There's actually action, excitement, and great heroes. Great heroes. You won't find, particularly if you're interested in business, that no author, no fiction author in history has portrayed businessmen and businesswomen more heroically than Ayn Rand. So the hero of Atlas Shrugged is a woman who's running a railroad. And she has to struggle against government regulation and controls, and against all kinds of strange things happening in the world that she doesn't understand. And, she falls in love and she falls out in love, and it's a great romance, but it's primarily about this woman trying to run a railroad. Now, what other novel do you know that portrays a female executive running a business? There aren't any. And positively, not as a crook. Right? I used to teach a class in, if I can take a pause a minute. I used to teach a class called Finance and Ethics. People used to say, when I was a finance professor, people used to say, finance and ethics, they don't go together. But I used to teach how they do, right? I believe that finance is an incredibly ethical profession. Because capital, the producers of capital, contribute more to economic growth than anybody else. Steve Jobs could not have produced this if some greedy capitalist, in a sense banker, didn't give him money to start Apple. I actually met the guy who gave Steve Jobs the first check. His name is Don Valentine. He's now 70-something years old. And he wrote, Steve Jobs came, had long hair, bad smell, smelled bad. He was a hippie. I don't know if you know what hippies are, but looked really bad. But he had a great idea. And Don Valentine saw the future, saw the vision, and wrote him a check. And that's how Apple got started, from a capitalist. So I used to teach finance and ethics. So I used to give my students an assignment at the beginning of the semester. I said, you've got a whole semester to complete the assignment. I want you to find a movie or a novel where a successful financier, banker, Wall Street type, a successful financier is portrayed in the movie or the book positively, as a hero, as a good guy. One example, a whole semester. You go find the movie or the novel. And then I said, well, that maybe is hard. I said, just find me one portrayal of a businessman who is portrayed good, as a good guy, in movies or in literature. Almost doesn't exist. It's very hard to find. Because we have this very negative response to business. Now, not in China so much, but in America. Very negative. Hollywood, all the Hollywood movies, who's the bad guy? Successful businessman. 50%, this is the last, 50% of all murders committed on television shows, dramas, 50% of all the murders committed in television in America are committed by businessmen. In real life, very few. In television, 50%, because we love to hate successful people. Ayn Rand views successful people as heroes. Her books are full of Steve Jobses. That's what she's writing about, so I encourage you to read the books.